What's going on, guys? It's Noah Cahill. Welcome back to a brand new video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day or night. And of course, the 2020 NBA draft is going to be very interesting. It's not one of the best coveted drafts for sure. There's players like LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, James Wiseman, and more, but there's no players to guarantee to be a star. There's definitely a lot of projects in this draft, and then there's some players that may make an impact right away, but you never know in the draft. There's always a player that's like, they're going to make an impact right away. They may not fit today's NBA, but they just end up being like an absolute bust, of course. But I really feel bad for the players like Onyeka Okongwu because he doesn't really have like a stretch to the outside type of play style, and I'm afraid he's going to be extinct to today's NBA and they're going to call him a bust when he's just going to be a quality NBA player in my opinion. But you never know. That's why there's no guarantees in the draft, no matter how talented you are. It all comes down to how bad you want to work, and I feel bad for the players that do put in the work but they just end up in the worst organization possible. New York Knicks at the end of the day. But I'm going to be looking at historical and current NBA comparisons for the 2020 NBA draft prospects. Can't wait to look into this. If you end up enjoying this video, be sure to click that subscribe button. It'll be gladly appreciated, and put the post notification bell on so you don't miss a video every time I upload one, because I've had some problems going on with my post notifications, but hopefully it does work moving forward. That's why I put out a community tab. So no further ado, I'm really looking forward to seeing these prospects and who they're being compared to historically and currently. As first off, we have Anthony Edwards, the Georgia point guard. Shooting guard. I'm a big fan of him. Does remind me of Victor Oladipo. It's a stronger type of build, of course. He does struggle like consistently or efficiently on the offense side of the basketball, but he's a dog defensively. He's athletic. He's not afraid of the big moment for sure. So I do like him from Georgia. I'm really curious to see what his comparison is going to be. Need to watch more on him. His current comparison is Zach LaVine. Damn, they think he's the athlete of a Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine's a special type of athlete, they say, because of his positional size and athleticism. I think LaVine is more athletic. LaVine is a slimmer type of build for sure coming into the league. Perimeter scoring, LaVine and Edwards scoring attacks are fueled by perimeter shot creation. Yeah, I would say their shot selection is kind of similar for sure. They don't have the most mature shot selection in my opinion. But I think Edwards is going to end up being a good NBA player. Secondary playmaking. Nobody would mistake LaVine or Edwards for point guards, but they're both capable playmakers. LaVine has averaged between 3 and 5 assists. I think they're like solid assist leaders or just solid playmakers. They're not going to be anything spectacular, in my opinion. Defensive lapses. Defense has been a problem for LaVine throughout his career. Edwards has tools and quickness that hint at exciting defensive potential, but he didn't always apply it. Yeah, that's always a bummer when there's guys that have like long wingspans. They have all the capabilities of being good on defense, but like most players, that's a problem nowadays. They're not really focused on the defense side of the basketball. And then it says production over impact. LaVine continues to put together impressive statistical seasons in Chicago. Yeah, that's true, because maybe that's because they're on bad basketball teams. Because Georgia's not the greatest team, may just put up big numbers on a bad team. That's the big scare there, of course. Because we don't know how good he really is going to be if he's on a good basketball team. And then we have a historical comparison of a prime Vince Carter. So it just shows that they really have some big athleticism type of comparisons, and they're talking about how Carter was just a great scorer, but wasn't really a winning leader for sure. So that may be the case for Anthony Edwards, but I'm high on Anthony Edwards, and hopefully he ends up being a great NBA player. I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for everyone in this draft class. I never want to see an NBA player fail or get hurt. Next up, we have Cole Anthony, a point guard / shooting guard from North Carolina. Want this kid to succeed, but I think he should have came out as a sophomore. I don't think he's NBA ready. Of course, he's a son of Greg Anthony. The Knicks are interested in him, and I don't like that. He's just an inefficient scorer. When he penetrates to the basket, he doesn't recognize that someone's open, and we've seen plenty of examples of guys like Julius Randle, Dennis Smith Jr., just not great playmakers, and like this is definitely a guy that could stunt RJ's development, and I don't think he would be the greatest like fit for the New York Knicks. But again, this is based off just players. I'm just afraid we're going to draft this guy. His current comparison is Jamal Murray. I think Jamal Murray is a much better shooter of the basketball, more efficient scorer of the basketball coming out, and isn't Jamal Murray like... He is taller, I believe, but it says style of plays. Cole Anthony drew mixed reviews during his 1 year at North Carolina. The positives highlighted his scoring ability, while the negatives focused on his point guard feel and decision making. Like Murray, Anthony is a scorer first who takes and makes tough shots for better or worse. But yeah, there's like plenty of example plays when he drives on like 3 defenders or 3 like guys down low. Clogging the paint, and he like tries to force it instead of kicking it out. But he just doesn't play the point guard position the right way, in my opinion. That's why I think he should have came out as a sophomore and continue to learn. For sure. I think Jamal Murray, not a great comparison in my opinion. Let's see what he is historically. Ben Gordon, Ben Gordon was a solid shooter of the basketball. For sure. Just a solid playmaker and just solid scorer for sure. Next up, Deni Avdija, one of the best intriguing prospects. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Deni could do. I believe he just turned 19. He's from Israel, for sure, and one of my favorite basketball players that played for BYU, Elijah Bryant, played with him, I believe. Current comparisons, Gordon Hayward. So they're really high on Deni Avdija. Like, Deni Avdija is not a crazy athlete, but he's a solid athlete like Gordon Hayward. Smooth flowing game for sure. I think he needs to add a little Euro step in his arsenal, but he's a very smart basketball player, and he's not crazy athletic, but he makes up for it with his basketball IQ. Physical traits for combo guards. Hayward 6'7", Deni 6'8", but Deni's definitely gonna be like that. Small forward that could also play point guard. He can handle the basketball. I think he needs to get tighter. Sometimes it's really sloppy. But I think if they put it all together and he has the right developmental plan or the right head coach to give him the opportunity, I think he's going to be a good basketball player. But he can score in different ways. He's good with moving without the basketball. Smooth shot for sure. He's a playmaking forward. Defensive versatility. He's an all-around good basketball player, but he could easily be like a Mario Hezonja, which scares me. And then prime Nicholas Batum for his historical comparison. I think it's a smooth flowing jump shot, his ability to shoot it from downtown. Next up, we have Isaac Okoro, the Auburn small forward freshman. He's definitely raised up some draft boards lately. I've seen him going like top 5. Current comparison, OG Anunoby, so they're guessing that his offense isn't crazy good, but he's going to bring good defense and good length and size. He's definitely there for his defense. Scoring efficiency, Anunoby has shot over 57% inside the arc. Limited creators, poor rebounders. Historical comparison, Andre Iguodala, so a guy that's not going to score a lot, but he's going to lock up the best offensive player on the squad for sure. Next up, James Wiseman. Of course, he was a historical, great high school player. Didn't get much of a sample size at Memphis. But just talk about an athletic beast with a high motor. Hassan Whiteside, I could definitely see that. I think he has to do better positioning himself in the post, but we didn't get to see much of a sample size in college, so you can't really say that yet. But he definitely has that body size. Some people are comparing him to David Robinson, which is insane. Let's see if that's his historical comparison, if that is. Prime DeAndre Jordan, okay, I could definitely see that, but I think he has more potential to stretch the floor for sure. Next up, we have Killian Hayes, the French point guard, another top European player. Of course, current comparison, D'Angelo Russell, so they think he's going to be a star right off the bat. For sure, positional size and athletic limitations. Finishing, he needs to get stronger for sure. And prime Goran Dragic, I think he'll be a quality guard for sure. And I think this is definitely a guy that would fit alongside RJ very nicely. Free, smooth flowing player. He could play make if he has to. He's a nice step back in his arsenal. Finishes very smoothly around the basket. Could get better on defense though. But I do like those comparisons. Next up, LaMelo Ball. Of course, one of the most highly coveted prospects. Ricky Rubio, I could see that with the playmaking ability, questionable jump shot coming in. Caris LeVert, I loved him at Michigan. He had injury problems, and he's continuously having injury problems, which sucks, but his potential is through the roof. I like LeVert for sure. Penny Hardaway, Jason Williams, so just a really flashy player, and Penny Hardaway, which is a high upside because Penny Hardaway was one of the best players in the game before he got injured. Next up, we have Obi Toppin, who's probably the best player in college basketball, in my opinion. I'm surprised he's not going number 1. I love how he's able to turn around that Dayton program for sure. Athletic beast, current comparison, John Collins. I can see that for sure. We don't know what he's going to be from beyond the arc. He's showing flashes like John Collins did at Wake Forest, but we don't know if he's really going to be a pick and pop type of guy for sure. And then, defensive question marks is positioning. Amari Stoudemire would be amazing, and I think that's definitely what he could be. He could be a solid mid-range scorer and an athletic freak in the pick-and-roll situation. Next up, Anika Okongwu, who I'm really rooting for, a great kid. He had the most underrated performance. He dropped 38 against Zion Williamson in high school, I believe it was. Bam Adebayo. Can't stretch the floor, but he's going to be a productive, good, solid basketball player. You're going to protect the rim. He's really good at rolling to the basket. Just those little things he's so great at. And Alonzo Mourning, wow. Alonzo Mourning's a Hall of Famer. So that's really tough, though, because historical comparison, Alonzo Mourning's amazing, but, like, it sucks that you can't have an Alonzo Mourning style play and end up going to the Hall of Fame in today's NBA. It really sucks. That's just my opinion. You have to be able to stretch the floor, but you can still be a good basketball player, but people just love these 7-foot big men that was shooting threes. Next up, RJ Hampton went to New Zealand. Jordan Clarkson, current comparison, so a solid basketball player. Historical comparison, prime OJ Mayo. We know he got kicked out of the league for sure, but solid basketball player. Question marks with the shooting ability. Next up, Tyrese Halliburton. He could pass the basketball. He could shoot it. I don't know if he has a mid-range game. He's kind of like Alonzo Ball that could do a little bit of everything. I don't think he's going to score the basketball a lot in the pros, but he's going to do a little bit of everything. But I don't think his playmaking's really on the level of Alonzo. But he could definitely do everything on the basketball floor. Some people have some questions about his mechanics of his jump shot, but just talk about a smart kid, very overall, just very overall polished as a basketball player. Current comparison, Lonzo Ball. There you go. With his size, his limited athleticism, athletic enough passing IQ, unorthodox shooting. This is kind of just like Alonzo Ball for sure. And then a prime Jose Calderon, who was a solid player for the Raptors. Next up, Tyrese Maxey, the shooting guard from Kentucky, who could be a big sleeper. Colin Sexton definitely has that dog in him. For sure, just talk about a true competitor. Prime Eric Gordon, but Eric Gordon's not the shooter of like Sexton, but Sexton's better scorer than we thought coming into the league. But yeah, guys, those are the comparisons. Let me know if you agree with any of those. And as always, guys, have a humble day or night. Peace out, y'all.